It's always Gold FM for us at Golden Point, Raki Raki.
Gold FM is #1 in Lusaka.
Gold FM is Nandi's best radio station.
It's always Gold FM with us here in Singapore.
Old is gold, and Gold FM is #1 here in Lusaka.
Singapore loves classic hits on Gold FM.
Listen to Gold FM here in Tagua.
We love Gold FM in Bang.
We've got beautiful beaches, people, and Gold FM in Raki Raki.
Lusaka loves the classic hits on Gold FM.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Tonight, Attorney General's Conference discusses the new constitution and democracy. 2 new ships to serve remote islands from next year. Good evening, I'm Jackie Spate and this is FBC News. The 15th Attorney General's Conference is being held for the first time under the new constitution. At the opening this morning, Prime Minister Vorenghe Bainimarama spoke about how Fiji is heading for its first genuine democracy, with elections set to be held in less than 10 months' time. Christopher Chand reports the conference is being held at an appropriate time to focus on the constitution and the election process itself.
Members of the judiciary and invited guests heard about how Fiji is positioned for the future with socio-economic rights being addressed in the 2013 Constitution for the first time.
My government's view has always been that there is no point in simply window dressing a constitution with fancy language about people's rights, making it up to make it look good. You need to ensure that these rights can be enforced in a practical manner and that they improve the day-to-day lives of ordinary Fijians.
Bainimarama is also critical of the role of the media and the responsibility that comes with media freedom.
As in the case of our lawyers, we look to our journalists to assist in the process of introducing a genuine democracy. The media authority doesn't exist to wield a big stick and inhibit public discourse. It exists to remind the media of its ultimate obligations to report with scrupulous fairness and balance in the interest of every Fijian.
Public office holders will now be held more accountable than ever, with the Freedom of Information law to be implemented soon,
which the Solicitor General's team is just about to complete. It will set new standards in requiring a minister's assets and liabilities to be declared and stipulate that this be updated on a yearly basis. As lawyers, you will also be able to access this information.
The theme of the conference, raising the bar, law and practice under the Constitution. Issues to be discussed include implementation of civil and political rights, holding public officers accountable, religion in a secular state, the role of the media, socio-economic rights, parliament, elections, and proportional representation. Christopher Chand, FBC News.
2 new boats will be brought in from Malaysia next year by the government shipping services. $9 million was allocated to GSS in the 2014 budget. Eleanor Tarangai View reports.
People in the maritime zone have often complained about poor shipping services. This, coupled with government's plan to ensure there is a steady service to the outer islands, prompted officials to look overseas for new boats.
A team from the ministry and also from the Maritime Safety Authority have been on an exercise last year to go and look for ships in anticipation of this announcement in the national budget. We've identified a few ships that we intend to purchase on the allocation that has been given to us by government.
Come February 2014, 2 new landing crafts will be on our shores, ready to service the maritime islands.
We intend to head over in January to sail back this new ship back to Fiji by the end of the month.
And with the festive season now at hand, the government shipping services says local boat operators can manage with the current fleet.
We've got 10 shipping franchise routes, and we have the relevant vessels that are servicing these routes on a monthly basis. That service has been consistent, and I want to commend the relevant shipping companies that have come on board, have been awarded the relevant contracts to service some of the routes.
The government shipping services currently has 3 vessels in operation: the Leilawatu, Rongoboka, and the new barge Bortisia, the Rendonu. Eleanor Turangaiviu, FBC News.
Staff of the Colonial War Memorial Hospital celebrated the facility's 90th anniversary at Sukuna Park today. A week of celebrations included anniversary lectures, open days, and a health festival. Shireen Lata has more.
Cheers for CWM. Hip it! Hey! Hip it! Hey! Hip it!
It was a joyous occasion for these staff, celebrating the achievement of Fiji's oldest and largest hospital.
We celebrate to recognize the unwavering support of the public and the community over the many, many good years of the hospital and the health services in Fiji. We celebrate the vision and the commitment of the government in focusing on better health services for its people.
Built as a memorial for those who served in the First World War, the hospital was opened on 2nd December 1923 by the then Governor of Fiji, Sir Cecil Rodwell. The government then had decided that there was an urgent need for a new hospital.
CWM has strongly contributed to the professional and personal development of many health professionals in Fiji and also in the region.
With the expansion of the infrastructure, the scope and range of services provided by the hospital has also increased.
I have been with the hospital for almost now 37 years. A lot of changes have taken place. We have got a new eastern wing. I think the infrastructure development has taken place quite a lot. New technologies have come, new services we are providing now.
The facility is today manned by more than 1,200 staff members. Shireen Lata, FBC News.
Coming up, volunteers recognized for giving up their time for a good cause.
Today FM is #1 here in Singapore.
We love Today FM in Lambasa. It rocks!
My favorite station in Nandi is Today FM.
I love Today FM because they play the awesome song.
Loto kasi they love Today's kid music.
I love Today FM because they play all my songs.
We love Today FM at Vuniva Lambasa. Yeah, it rocks!
I love Today FM because it rocks.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
Bulan 2 saya Tolu FM, number 2 Raki-Raki.
Bula FM number 2 in Nosor.
Go etapo ke boto kola sa Bula FM nga.
Bula FM number 2 Korbu.
Bula FM number 2 Sawa. Bula FM number 2 Lotoka. Bula.
Number 2 Bula FM member.
Bula FM
Number 2 NSR in Singapore.
Kalau tali tak ada warung yang Bula FM Lotoka.
Ali akar warung Bula FM number 2 NSR.
Bula FM number 2 NSR.
Welcome back. This is FBC News. Fijian Prime Minister Voreqe Bainimarama is calling on all Pacific Islanders to stop threatening the environment with pollution. He was speaking at the closing of the 9th Pacific Islands Conference on Conservation and Protected Areas. Abisalome Dhoka reports.
Prime Minister Voreqe Bainimarama says it is the duty of every Pacific Islander to assume a personal responsibility to conservation efforts.
For too long, our people have taken their beautiful surroundings and abundant natural resources for granted. For too long, we have seen conservation as someone else's responsibility. Paradoxically, we use that vast ocean around us as both a food source and a refuse dump.
He told representatives at the conference that it's shocking to see the amount of pollution on land and at sea.
None of us would dump rubbish in our own backyards and think nothing of dumping it in our oceans. In my naval career, I have been staggered and angered by the sheer volume of floating plastic bags and plastic bottles and other cast-offs that I've seen in the water, sometimes many kilometers offshore. Someone put them there, sometimes a Pacific Islander with a big smile.
Bainimarama has called for these practices to stop, as it's affected the very things we depend on.
Something had to give as time went by, and it has. Our ocean
its shoreline and reefs have come under such intense human pressure that the whole ecosystems are under threat. It has to stop. Our arable land and freshwater streams and rivers are being polluted, and their biodiversity at times affected by invasive species.
The Prime Minister is also calling on the global community to face up to its responsibility to tackle the issue of climate change. Apisalo Medoka, FBC News.
Meanwhile, the conference ended with 10 key actions for Pacific Islands in order to deliver on its commitments by 2020. The key actions were announced by Environment Minister Ayasaid Qayyum.
The commitments highlight the need for governments and organizations to consider the impacts of climate and global changes on food security, agriculture, the threat by invasive species, and developing partnerships with grassroots communities. There's also a need for capacity development policies being carbon neutral, the need for private sector engagement, and ensuring that these commitments are enforced and delivered.
In itself does not mean anything unless it's actually put into practice.
The 10 points actually summarize what we as a region need to get on and do together in order to make a difference to our agenda for climate change and improving our environment.
Fiji has offered to host a more focused high-level meeting in April to follow up on the key action points. Representatives from governments, businesses and civil society will be attending this gathering, which Qayyum says is to reflect an inclusive approach to climate change and environment preservation.
We propose that this gathering be where we will seek firm commitments.
So the idea is that they all go off now. We've got these 10 key points, you've got the outcomes of the other plenary sessions, and people need to seriously consider what they can do.
Cook Islands Prime Minister Henry Pune believes that 10 key action points will address the conservation and climate concerns of the Pacific region.
It's important that governments act on the basis of, involving the community.
The 9th Pacific Islands Conference on Nature, Conservation and Protected Areas 2013 has been described as a success by delegates. Mikalonga, FBC News.
Volunteer work has helped many that needed assistance and changed the lives of those who carry out the work. The National Volunteer Steering Committee last night thanked those who've given up their time to help others. Apisalo Medoka reports.
These are a few who've spent hours, days and months working without a salary out of the goodness of their hearts.
Whatever our reasons of volunteering may be, someone's quality of life is benefiting.
At the award ceremony last night, the volunteer workers were praised for their dedication and effort.
Volunteers are our silent heroes who sacrifice and contribute, often not publicly recognized. It is for this reason we come together to celebrate International Volunteer Day to champion volunteering in Fiji.
Those who found the joy of volunteering are also urging the public at large to give it a try.
One thing that I'd like to share with everyone who is thinking of volunteering is to do it now. You will only know the pleasure of volunteering once you start.
The International Volunteer Day is the result of the partnership between UN systems, government, volunteer organization and committed individuals. Apisalo Medoka, FBC News.
Sports time now, and what do you have for us, Jamie?
Well, Jackie, just over 24 hours before the South Africa Sevens kicks off, and we have the latest from Port Elizabeth. Also up ahead, Suva and Savu Savu sailors ready for battle tomorrow. Details after the break.
देश की धड़कन रेडियो फीजी 2 is number 1 in Singapore का।
मैं लंबासा के निवासी, मेरा नाम प्रेम चंद्रा है। देश की धड़कन रेडियो फीजी 2 को मेरा सलाम।
नैंजी में देश की धड़कन रेडियो फीजी 2।
रेडियो फीजी 2 में देश की धड़कन मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगता है।
रेडियो फीजी 2 is number 1 in Singapore।
नैंजी में मेरा धड़कन है रेडियो फीजी 2।
हम नन्नूपुर की रहता है और हम रेडियो फीजी 2 हरदम सुनता है।
हमें रेडियो फीजी 2 सुनो बहुत अच्छा लगे। आप भी रेडियो फीजी 2 सुनो।
देश की धड़कन रेडियो फीजी 2।
Talita na radio Fiji 1 na mwira ni nondo konoa.
Ando talita kana borro na radio Fiji 1 singa toka mbole kan station ni alumatu.
Ando talita ka bale una borro na radio Fiji 1 station ni alumatu elo toka.
Ando talita ka bale una borro na radio Fiji 1 na mandi na station ni alumatu.
Au tu ko korbo Untuk warong live na station ni Almatua na Radio Fijuan.
Do warong na Radio Fijuan na station ni Almatua na Mandoi Tilip.
Na Radio Fijuan nandu mo ibitin bonga ni BNN.
Welcome back to FBC Sports. Just over 24 hours remain before the start of the South Africa Sevens in Port Elizabeth, and the Fiji side will have its captain's run later tonight before its first game tomorrow. The only concern in the side is forward Pio Tuwai, who is nursing an injury.
Pio has a twisted ankle that will, they expect, be ready for the weekend, but he's been spared the hard work and training. And believe me, the training has been all hard work. It has been intense, it's been in-depth, and it has been responsible for the performance of our side.
Meanwhile, forward Semi Kunatani has been tipped to be one of the stars of the tournament this weekend. The Ahmadiyya forward has been nominated by the fans as best rookie in Dubai. The RB says it is not often a debutant has such an impact in his first series event. The rating says he will also have learned a lot playing alongside Pio Tuwai and Benito Masilevu, both of whom could easily have made this list. And in the Sakuna Bowl that ended not too long ago, we saw Donaldson prove to be the winner for Police for the second year in a row as he kicked the winning penalty to see Police retain the Sakuna Bowl 25-24 this afternoon. Police led 8-3 in the opening half, which was marred by handling errors, but both teams came out in the second half to display enterprising rugby to keep the crowd on its feet. Army was a different outfit with tries to Vesira Rawa, Josefa Levula and Sitiveni Kunanga. Police replied with tries to Apisalome Wangatambu, Atunai Saturangai View and Mosese Volavola before Donaldson knocked over the winning penalty. Triple Olympic gold medalist Shane Gould and her husband Milt Nelm, who mentored Australian swimming legend Ian Thorpe, are currently in the country to conduct water safety programs. The couple have been visiting Fiji for almost a decade now as they seek to instruct young people on how to be safe in the water. Talenta Vakadaka reports.
With a highly decorated record in the swimming arena, Shane Gould and her husband Milt Nelms are out to reduce one particular record. The couple are hoping to lower the drowning toll, particularly amongst children. After a brief stint with villages along the Coral Coast, Gould was impressed with the level of knowledge on water safety.
We've been coming to Fiji for quite a number of years, since about 2004. And what we see more and more as we're kind of doing research on how people swim, how people use the water, for fishing and boating and transport and leisure, we see that there's a very good standard of understanding swimming, but like everywhere in the world, the drowning, people who drown is rising.
The duo were overseeing the Triton Swimming Club carry out their Swim for Life program with Gould to conduct a session for trainers.
We think what the Tritons are doing here with the lessons that they're providing, where they're engaging the swimmers on their club to sort of be caregivers for younger Fijians that don't swim as well, is a very, very good model, and it's something that I think should be looked at.
The couple are expected to return as early as February to continue the water safety program around the country. Salendo the Kavak, FBC Sports.
Fiji Under-20 coach Ravines Kumar has become the first local recipient of the Oceania Football Confederation Level B coaching license. Kumar was awarded the license at the conclusion of the OFC course in Ba today, the highest qualification for coaches in the country. He, along with Imdad Ali and Usenio Longevo, are the Fijian recipients of the license. The waters surrounding the Royal Suva Yacht Club will tomorrow become a battle zone between sailors from Suva and Savu Savu. It's the 2013 National Sailing Championship, and this year there is a twist. Savu Savu reps were last year's winners, but as Elena McDonald reports, Suva's youngest sailors have vowed to cause an upset this weekend.
We are coming for you.
That's the warning not just the Suva junior sailors have issued to their northern rivals Savu Savu.
We have 10 Hobie cats participating, so it will be nice and colorful. We have B-class boats, which are the variety of big yachts that you can see behind me here. They'll be participating. And then we have the lasers, which is a faster dinghy. Dinghy is a basic boat in a junior category and a senior category. And it's a really tough competition because they're really competing, the Royal Suva Yacht Club and the Savu Savu.
Suvas powered themselves with some promising sailors this weekend.
Because it's fun and cool, because of the sponsorship.
The junior sailing program being a huge part in developing the sport so far.
One day we hope that Vunda Point and Dennerau also will start a yacht club where they do junior sailing programs, because it's the best age to start to learn to sail.
Races begin from 10 a.m. tomorrow and will be done around the Suva Harbour. It's a highlight on their sailing calendar and a chance to get some good rivalry going on the water. Elena McDonald, FBC Sports.
That's it from sports. It's back to Jackie now with business.
Fuel retailers in Fiji want a better return from fuel sales. Newly elected president of the Fiji Fuel Retailers Association, Nazir Khan, says they deserve greater recognition for their contribution to Fiji's economy. Khan believes there should be an easing of price control to allow more realistic margins on fuel sales. He says local operators are operating slightly below break-even and rely on shop sales to make a profit. Local operators run 71 fuel service stations all over Fiji, dealing with about 30,000 customers daily. The retail fuel market in Fiji is 200 million litres annually, with about $550 million in turnover. Well, the time now when we had such sunny weather this morning, Jen, I just didn't think it would rain.
I'm sure many in the capital thought we'd have a nice sunny day, Jackie, since we had all that sunshine this morning. But as usual, the fine dry conditions were replaced with puddles and mud pools. The same goes for the other major centers, except for Nandi, who only had dull afternoon weather to deal with. Looking at temperatures now, and my word, was it just me or was everyone feeling the heat? I think I had a massive headache after walking through town today. Bars the highest on the chart on 33, Lambasa and Lautoka following closely on 32. No change tomorrow. There'll be some showers over most places and moderate to rough seas. East to northeast winds are at 15 to 20 knots. And that's it from me this week. Thanks so much for keeping me company. We'll be having a Christmas tree decorating contest at MHCC tomorrow, so I hope to see you there. I leave you with this gorgeous, colorful rainbow to get rid of all your weather blues.
Thanks so much for that, Genevieve. The headlines once again: lawyers attending the Attorney General's conference are discussing the new constitution and elections. 2 new ships to serve remote islands from next year, and South African leader Nelson Mandela passes away aged 95. Now for this week's poll question, we're asking: can Fiji win the 2013 and 2014 IRB World 7 Series? Visit our FBC website to take part. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via our Facebook page, FBC News. And if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC News or simply hashtag FBC News. That's news for today, but be sure to join Amrita Pradashni from tomorrow for our weekend news. I'll be back again on Monday. Until then, you will have a safe and enjoyable weekend. Nimo Demanda.
Old Town Tower में it's only Mirchi FM. Mirchi FM is hot.
ताकि हर घर में खाली मिर्ची FM बजे. Mirchi FM it's hot.
Best sound, best music. Mirchi FM rocks and records.
Nandi का #1 station है Mirchi FM. Mirchi FM is hot. Mirchi FM it's #1 in nursery.
Mirchi FM is hot.
हम लोग मिर्ची FM रोज सुनता है.
Mirchi FM जागो मामा.
Mirchi FM